So, now that I've got some health and resources, I mean, yeah, health and suit, health? Integrity, let's call it. I'll try not to lose all of them immediately, as I'm still somewhat low on any way to repair those things. Not zero anymore, but low. And I will resume exploration of the upper Psychotronics labs, then head into the guts of the station on my way to the Arboretum. Well, is it the Arboretum, or... I want to go both up and down. January recommended I head down, I think, to the cargo bay or something, in order to find the self-destruct key. And December recommended I go upstairs, or uplift, up guts, to the Arboretum to find Alex's escape pod key. Now, at the moment, I'm not really interested in that escape pod. I want to get the key, because I want a key to everything. I want all options, ideally. But I do not feel that simply leaving the station would solve anybody's problems, except perhaps for Morgan's. And that's a very limited kind of solution. Behavioral biometrics. Ooh, a lot of flashing items in this room. Oh! That was a mimic. Let's see if I can see it through the glass in order to scan it. Yes! Excellent.
More specimens required.
Now that's thinking with your psychoscope. Now let's see if I can get it without taking damage, ideally. Is it currently mimicking? Did I explode it successfully? Oh, hang on, it's still... What? Okay, that is the mimic there on that note. I mean, it is a note, but there's another one in the room, I think. That's a mimic. I know it's a mimic. I can see it. It didn't get exploded, unfortunately, by my blast for some reason. And over there is that... also a mimic? Why didn't this thing get exploded? Well, it did now, is the answer. Oh. There we go. I didn't actually scan that one, unfortunately. Note, not a mimic. So everything with a note on it is not a mimic. That's really funny. They must have been having some extreme trouble determining what was and wasn't mimic. Even though the psychoscope can tell you this. Maybe they weren't as good at using them, or... maybe they didn't have the right chip. So, yeah, I noticed that it doesn't have a note on it. So, I'm just going to right-click on this, not right-click hold. Yeah, that was more effective. Hang on, though. Hang on. Loading the game. Because I forgot to scan. Might as well scan. Oh, so you can't scan the mimic unless it's in mimic form? Is that what's going on? Ah, I killed it. So just scan it. I need to let it wake up and attack me. Okay. I'm trying to... I know you're a mimic. I know you are. There we go. There we go. Mimic Matter 3 available. Now I can kill it. Whew. The things I will do for a scan. There's nothing I wouldn't, actually. When provided with the ability to scan, scanning becomes an imperative. That mimic was, of course, mimicking a note. Like, oh, fuck. That was the Phantom. At least I reacted well by zapping it. Not sure where its corpse went, though. I want organs, please. Hello? Aha. Okay, so yes, Typhon mimesis testing is the lab we're in, which explains a lot. This thing hasn't got not a mimic on it, but nevertheless it is not a mimic. Oh boy. This must have been a very confusing place to work. Let's move this thing. Large object. Pull it out of the way. It's okay, I can do that. Whoa! Yep, that is a mimic. That's definitely a mimic. Ah, there's nothing left to scan about these things. Wait, I'm dead for some reason. Did the mimic kill me, or did the turret? Did I just stand in front of it while I was trying to shoot the mimic? What a dumb mistake, if so. Now I've lost track of what I have and haven't done. Well, it probably doesn't matter. What I was doing was, I was moving the real cabinet, but this time while sneaking, putting on my psychoscope to check for mimics. Finding one, although it also found me. Let's just try and get it through the wall. No, that doesn't work. Can I shoot it through the glass, maybe? I mean, I could break the glass. Did the mimic die? No. Ah, they're so cool. Like, these things are not sort of statistically powerful, but every one of them is interesting and dangerous because of the way they interact with the environment and the way that their limited but very powerful, very effective powers operate. Rest in peace, I was about to say glue cannon, rest in peace Rory Mannion. I've heard his name somewhere.
I can hear the weaver through the walls. Son of a bitch is gloating, I know it. How are you holding up?
I dropped a couple of nightlights to lure the phantoms away. Put sticky notes on every goddamn thing I'm sure isn't a mimic. You?
Good. Safe inside the armory. Squashed a mimic that slipped in, but that's it. I got everything sealed tight.
What's our plan?
Wait for rescue?
You know, if we make it, Alex is just going to pull our mods.
You want to remember this shit?
I think we could get out through the guts. Work our way up to the Arboretum.
Okay. Say the word.
That's interesting. When they said pull our mods, for a moment I didn't know what he was talking about. I was like, oh, it's like, as a punishment they'll take the newer mods away. But it wouldn't be, or wouldn't exclusively be a punishment. It would be to make them forget what happened. How interesting. Now that's like, it's a really interesting hole, I think, in Alex's utopian vision or utopian description. A world where people can control each other's memory, and the people who have the control of the neuromods do the control of memory. Well, that's a dangerous world. Hello? Apparently that's a mimic. Lure. Okay, so this is where they developed the things. Of course, everything related to Typhon was probably developed on Telos 1 or Kletka or whatever the American name for it was. Not a mimic. Oh, shit. Oi, is that a weaver in there? can't scan any of this.
Isn't it fascinating? There's something almost angelic about those golden filaments, like frozen light. The Typhon weave it out of thin air. The question is why? We have a lot of theories, but no solid answers. Not yet. I wish you were with me, Morgan. Not the way you are now. The way you used to be. I know we could tackle this together. Like old times.
Yeah, that probably would be helpful to him. It is interesting to me that why is it that President Morgan, post testing Morgan, is a silent protagonist? Your voice is in the game via January and briefly December, but Morgan doesn't speak. Doesn't answer the phone. Maybe it's a one-way phone, I don't know. Pocket dimension transmutation or hallucinogenic field. Oh, these are all discredited hypotheses. Whenever I see two objects next to each other, I'm just terrified. Different time scale of the original. Interesting. So that's the basis of the alternate dimension theory. Suppress the psionic abilities on the blast. Cool. Well, that'll be useful on phantoms, I imagine. It would also be useful on me, so I'd better not be caught in its blast. Organs, test tubes, petri dishes, all good. I actually want these. I'm happy about this. I want to look at what's on the computer. Number 4, magic. Pilgrimage to the autarky of the doomed. Lanzetta. Gus Lanzetta. The week before, the entire science staff had last quarter's neuromods removed. Wow. Yeah, so this whole controlling people's memories thing is not theoretical, nor is it hypothetical. It's extremely actual. So I still want to try and get a look inside these tanks, though. These buttons. What does that do? Lol. This is like a mimic, but spiky. I've seen those before.
More specimens required.
Greater mimic. Tell me about the greater mimic. Moderately larger than any of the other mimic specimens. Huh. Again, it's weak to the Q-beam, although I do not have one of those. This mimic sees a coil. It does not care about the coil, it wants to kill me. That's what I was interested in. This section, though, this interests me, but like, is this... This is the stuff that weavers weave. Golden filaments. I forget the exact terminology Alex used. And surely that would mean the things being contained in here are weavers or parts of weavers, but I cannot scan them. Also, maybe not, because they've talked about the weaver. I got the feeling that the Psychotronics department and its students of the Typhon had exactly one weaver in custody as the one in the guts, and it's the one that kind of started the whole incident, right? The Purgod incident, or whatever it was. I can't go in there, not that I really want to. Alright, well, let's test out this nightlight. Ah, interesting. So it attracts them, and the mimics will stop mimicking in order to follow it. Fun. These labs are basically the place where they were designing Prey, the video game. What? Slap things that have been blown apart somehow. Even though I can't do that. Right. Parapsychologist. I guess that's a much more legitimate profession in this world. Hello. Alright, so having seen a mimic, what is the best way to kill it? I guess it's actually to sneak up on it. Like this. That doesn't use many resources. 37. That's volunteer 37. Morbid curiosity. Exposure to the telepath. Is that another kind of typhon? Suicide watch. Encephalectomy. Is that like to get what he ate out of him? Ooh, it's part 3. Explain. Adjacent dimensional bubble. Shifting back with the appropriate stimulus, e.g. Prey. A 6 million year journey to our solar system in the form of an iron meteor. Wow. Those would indeed be incredible predator organisms. Spider-like, hence the analogies with weavers and... Well, I have a perfect term for the golden filaments. It's a web. Let's hope that let's hope that analogy is not accurate. Ooh, hello.
In light of what we now know the Typhon are capable of, and not capable of, it seems prudent to revisit the Project Cobalt material.
Igor, neuromods can already adapt Typhon material to the human mind. There's no reason in principle the reverse wouldn't work.
Say you managed to insert human neurons into a Typhon. How will you know it was successful?
The new neural structures would need to mature over a series of actual experiences.
Or simulated ones.
What?
Simulate the experiences. Calvino. He has...
Right, okay, look, it's fascinating, but let's focus on what we know is working. I don't want anyone devoting resources to this.
What the fuck? Okay, maybe my mind is jumping places that aren't fully justified, but I mean, I've played Hadean Lands. I bet the developers of this game have too. Might as well pick up this turret, why not? Okay, there are implications here. I almost feel like I don't want to say out loud what I'm imagining because it sounds silly if I'm wrong. But that's not even the impulse. The impulse was feeling like, oh, I don't want to spoil it for the audience. But this is not necessarily true stuff. This is just a guess of mine. Okay, here's what I think they were talking about there. You could basically give a Typhon the ability to think human style, have a human consciousness, and you could, with sufficient training, education, like a child rearing process, basically, or simulation of being an agent in an environment, like they do for robotics, which has been mentioned in the game, by the way, control theory stuff. You could then kind of give it basically the impression that it was a human acting as a human would, and then we had Morgan talking about using the looking glass to run such simulations. Okay, who do we know in this game? I'm like banging my hands on the table for emphasis here. Who do we know in this game who is a blank slate, who has like no recent memories, but is like, believes they is like inserted into a particular human life and is being kind of manipulated by those around them and treated oddly, and doesn't seem to be the person they once were, drifted, etc., drifted from some expected point, and who recently broke out of being in a simulation. Okay, am I playing as a Typhon that they like put Morgan neuromods in? Is that what has happened here? No. Well, no, it can't be. It can't be as simple as that, because the turrets at the start of the game think you're fully human. They don't detect any Typhon material. But man, I have some suspicions, thoughts, feelings. I want to get into this off and find out more. I want to know everything Mitsuko Tokaji was working on. But I don't have anything in my power suite which would let me pass this door. There's no lock. There's just kind of this grill here. It's not even glass, I think. What else have I got in the way of powers here? Morphing. Camouflage yourself. Phantom shift. If I could scan more etheric phantoms, I might be able to get a teleportation power. Don't know if it lets you go through gratings though. Telepathy. Backlash, create a shield that repels enemies. That sounds good. Got to scan weavers though, also something else. Remote manipulation would be good. Like the bolt cast, a bit more accurate. These are all locked though. I have not done enough scanning for any of those. I could turn into a coffee cup. Or, other nearby objects. There's not... I don't see a lot of immediate use in that. Regenerating health, that sounds good though. It's basically everything is locked to me at this point. I might as well use my... Until I've scanned more, I might as well use my neuromods on human things or not use them at all. I'm just... yeah. Let's play this again while I finish exploring this area. Typhon material in your system is just below the threshold where station turrets will consider you a threat. Right. Project Cobalt.
In light of what we now know the Typhon are capable of, and not capable of, it seems prudent to revisit the Project Cobalt material.
Igor, neuromods can already adapt Typhon material to the human mind. There's no reason in principle the reverse wouldn't work.
Say you managed to insert human neurons into a Typhon. How will you know it was successful?
The new neural structures would need to mature over a series of actual experiences.
Or simulated ones.
What?
Simulate the experiences. Calvino.
Hello.
He has...
Right, okay, look, it's fascinating, but let's focus on what we know is working. I don't want anyone devoting resources to this.
Neuroimaging shows your mental resources are full. This should help. You should feel more alert.
Okay, so... before us lie the guts